Listen, you motherfuckers.
We are now in the greatest medical crisis of our lifetime.
It's not a rehearsal. You will only have one chance at this. Stay at home.
If you choose to stay at home, you will save lives. Please.
Stay at home.
This channel is now brought to you in glorious 16:9.
I make these videos from my bedroom and I think they're cool, but I'm fucking stupid, so don't listen to anything that I do.
So we've all been quarantined, you've been quarantined, your mama has been quarantined, everyone's been quarantined. And everyone is doing stuff like doing these challenges online or going live with each other or doing all these video calls and stuff. And not that any of that is bad, you know, it's good to be social, it's good to keep in touch with your friends, especially now that you can't go out and hang out with them. At least I hope you're not going out and hanging out with them. But I thought, why not make a video and share a couple ideas about what you can do with your free time now that you're forced to have some free time. So the first thing I would recommend to you while you're on YouTube, hopefully, is to use infographics. If you like knowing stuff about stuff, and if you like to be able to make worthwhile contributions to conversations that you and your friends might have, especially on these videos that you're putting on the internet, these embarrassing fucking videos, infographics are a great place to start. I would recommend you start with the PBS Crash Course series. They have a crash course series on pretty much any topic you might be interested in. There's Crash Course Philosophy, Crash Course Astronomy, Crash Course Physics, Crash Course Psychology, and so on and so forth. So what they do is they give you very short and concise lectures by supposedly experts on all these interesting topics. And so don't tout the knowledge that you might gain from these channels everywhere and act like you're a professional, because you're not, and you don't earn any credentials by watching these. But the information is nonetheless really helpful, and it helps you understand the context better, so that the next time you see something about that topic on the internet, you know what it's about and you don't just zoom past it. Another channel I'd like to recommend is School of Life. School of Life is a little bit more difficult and a little bit more unabridged than the Crash Course series, but like the Crash Course series, School of Life comes with English subtitles. You just gotta know how to enable them, which I'm sure you do. And so you're improving your English, if that's what you're into, at the same time as gaining actual information about stuff you're interested in. So once again, you got things like philosophy, you know, and scientific topics and so on. So School of Life is a great place to go to. Another place, and this one is probably my favorite because of how much time and effort they put into making their videos, is Kurzgesagt. Kurzgesagt is German for in a nutshell. And this is basically what they do. They put topics, usually scientific, in a nutshell, and they explain it to you with graphics that are very viewer friendly because they're in cartoon style and they're very easy to grasp. And of course the content is just as viewer friendly as the graphics. I mean, they really explain things well and in as uncomplicated terms as possible. Kurzgesagt also comes with all kinds of subtitles, not just English, but many languages, including languages like Arabic and Persian. And kudos to the Kurzgesagt team for being so good at translation. I know Persian, and the Persian subtitles are fantastic. They're on point. So that's an excellent channel you could go to. And of course, there are many more infographic channels out there. Don't be content with the ones I mentioned. Go find your own favorite infographic channels and put them to good use and make yourself more intelligible or knowledgeable about certain topics. It certainly helps, And it absolutely doesn't hurt to have more information about things. Now, sure, the arrogance factor is hard to control. I mean, when you have information about something, it's really hard not to act like you know everything about that thing. I feel you, everyone feels you, even if they don't admit it. But still, even if it makes you an arrogant asshole, information never hurts. It's only good to have information, never bad. The second thing I want to say that you could do at home to make better use of your time is to work on skills. Whatever you're interested in, it could be photography, painting, drawing, doing music, doing films, videos, clips, whatever you're into. There are hundreds of thousands, there are millions upon millions of videos on YouTube on any topic. So if you're into making good-looking photographs, for example, with your cell phone, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of tutorial videos on how to shoot good-looking photos with your cell phone. If you're doing that with a camera, once again, there are thousands upon thousands of videos on how to do it on camera. Now, normally these videos don't come with official subtitles, but YouTube has this option where it gives you auto-generated subtitles, and it could help you comprehend better what they're saying. But of course, if it's a skill you're interested in, you don't necessarily need to hear every single word they're saying, because you're looking at a video and you're figuring out what they're talking about. Like if a photographer is teaching you the rule of thirds, you see the grid on their screen, so you don't really need to, understand every of and the and about that they're saying. It's cool, it works. You might get on Instagram and find that someone is playing a song on the guitar or the piano or whatever, and then you might think to yourself, whoa, that person is a wise sage. That person is level 10 on an instrument. No, they're not. It takes any idiot less than 1 month to learn how to play one song on pretty much any instrument. I mean, fretless instruments like the violin or the cello take a very long time to master because you have to put your finger at exactly the right places. But an instrument like the guitar or the piano, where you have pre-positioned keys and frets, it's not that hard to play. It's not that hard to get right. On a serious note though, the point isn't that it's easy. The point is that it's possible and it's doable and it's manageable. And with the adequate amount of time invested into it, you're going to sound pretty good at pretty much any instrument. The third thing I wanted to say is that you could acquaint yourself with some classics in whatever field you're into. If you're into rock music, you could just Google best rock musicians of all time. If you're into action movies, you could Google best action movies of all time. If you're into stand-up comedy, you could just Google greatest stand-up comedians of all time. Google gives you this list, usually based on public opinion, of the greatest ones of all time. And you could take that list, you could take notes, you could copy paste it on your computer, or you could write it down in a notebook or something, and then you could go about seeing what that's like. So for example, if you Google best metal musicians of all time, Google's going to give you a list of the supposedly best metal musicians of all time. You can take that list and then you can go on the internet and acquaint yourself with those musicians. You can go to YouTube, for example, and listen to pretty much any music for free. You could go on Spotify and listen to pretty much any music for free with the addition of some ads. But then again, YouTube also shows you ads. So everything is pretty much free if you can tolerate the ads. Knowledge of the classics in any given field gives you a better perspective on that field. I mean, there's this concept called intertextuality. I heard about that in university when we were studying, I think, new criticism or something like that. And the idea is that, look, every piece of art you look at is somehow related. Artists consistently refer to each other. Sometimes they use someone else's idea, not to steal it, but to, give them a kind of hats off or something. They acknowledge each other, like a rapper might copy one line from another rapper, not to have stolen it, but to tell that rapper, hey, I know you exist and I'm listening to your songs and they're pretty cool. They're so cool that I took one line from your rap and I put it in my rap. So knowledge of classics in any given field is good. It helps you understand that field better. And the final item I wanted to mention was go deeper into what you think you already know. You know so many songs, specifically rap songs, but you don't really know all the lyrics. I mean, you have a general idea about what the song is about, and everything is familiar to you, or so it seems. But if someone asks you to sing that song, you would be lost after like the 10th second, or the 20th, or the 30th, or the 40th. You probably won't last a minute. Now, my point isn't to bash you. My point is to say, look, take for example a rap song. It's full of words and sentences and structures, right? If you actually memorized it, and if you actually enabled yourself to perform that rap song, that would be great aid to multiple parts of you. I mean, it's good for your memory. You know, it's called jogging your memory. When you work with your memory, it kind of gets better. It gets more active, right? It's good for your ear, is what we call it. Your ear basically means how well you hear music, how well you get it. And so the more music you listen to, the more educated your ear becomes. And if you're a language learner, it's definitely excellent for your language. I mean, any good language teacher who isn't, limited by certain factors gives their students music from time to time with the lyrics. And the emphasis is the lyrics, because once you get to know the culture of a language, it becomes much easier to understand the language itself, right? Take rap, for example. In rap music, you kind of understand how people talk about tragedies, or how people brag about things, or, as they say nowadays, flex, or how to insult someone, or, as they say, roast someone. Or when you listen to stand-up comedy in any given language, you kind of get to know the sense of humor of the culture where that language is spoken. And so it gives you more and deeper insight into that language, and it makes the whole thing easier on you. Yeah, so that's about it. I could probably give you more, but fuck it, go find it on your own. Google is at your service. Use it more often than you do. And don't be afraid to click on the results. I mean, they might look strange to you. They might look alien to you. They might look like it's not what you want. But the thing with Google is it brings up the ones that are clicked most, which tells you that they've been useful for a very large number of people. So you probably want to check out the first few results on Google, at least, no matter what you search. Okay, don't listen to people who say Wikipedia is not a reliable source of information. Wikipedia is a reliable source of information. It's not a good reference if you're writing a paper at an academic level. If you're doing a thesis, you don't want to mention Wikipedia for sure. But if your information about a certain topic comes from Wikipedia, don't take shit from anyone who claims that your information isn't good. Your information is absolutely good. If you want to go a little bit above the level of Wikipedia, you could always try the Encyclopedia Britannica, which isn't editable by the public. But still, this idea that the public who edit Wikipedia are uneducated people is fucking stupid. You know, like I'm gonna go and edit the page on Wikipedia about string theory. Like, something I write about string theory wouldn't immediately stand out to everyone and be edited back into its previous version immediately. Are you fucking kidding me? That's it. Stay home, wash your hands often, take care of yourselves. See you later. Bye-bye.
We're clear. Okay. Okay.